Hi everyone, this is Sonila. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you the recipe for this amazing Bolivian Christmas soup called picana. I myself am from Albania, but my husband is from Bolivia, so a lot of the food we cook at home is sometimes Mediterranean food, sometimes Bolivian food. So this soup recipe is one of my favorite Bolivian meals. You can make it in so many different varieties. My husband's family from Bolivia has given me at least 3 or 4 recipes for picana. So this is the way I make it here in Florida. Some of the ingredients are not exactly the same how they are in Bolivia. So I'll walk you through the variations and the substitutions I make so I can achieve a delicious picana even though we are not living in Bolivia. So I start first by cooking the meats. You'll need beef, about 2 pounds. You'll need a whole chicken or about 4 or 5 pounds of chicken. You can buy it in pieces. I usually saute the beef and then add water and cook it on a pressure cooker so I can speed up that process. Then I put the whole chicken to boil as well. So while the 2 meats are cooking, then I start chopping the vegetables. So I chop 1 red onion, then I usually chop about 1 turnip, but they vary so much in size, so I try to have as much turnip as I have onions. Then I cut the carrots in stick figures, about 12 to 15 sticks. I just wanted to mention that you can add more types of meats than just beef and chicken. You can add lamb, you can add pork, so the more meats, the richer the stew will be at the end. I love lamb meat. Obviously I grew up in the Mediterranean, but my husband doesn't like the flavor of lamb meat in the stew, so that's why I don't add it. So we just do it with beef and chicken. Then I cut tomatoes as well. 1 to 2 tomatoes is enough. Okay, so now let's talk about corn. We'll boil corn on the side while the stew is getting cooked, but what type of corn is available to you? So if you can find choclo, Andean type of corn, that would be better, but that's not easy to find if you don't live in Bolivia or Peru. There are some Latin American stores here in Miami that do have choclo once in a while, but it's not very common. So if you can't find choclo, you can use yellow corn. Then we'll use 1 red bell pepper, and I cut that in julienne strips. And finally we'll chop off some parsley. You can add the parsley as you are making the stew as part of the seasoning, but you can reserve some of it on the side for garnishing at the end. So now let's talk about spiciness. So I like to use ajis to make the soup spicy, but they're not easy to find in Miami. So once I find them, I make my own ají amarillo paste or rocoto paste, which is made with like red spicy pepper or the orange yellowish type peppers. If you can't find those, you can buy the paste. There are a couple of brands. I'll add them in the video description that provide ají amarillo or rocoto paste. And then if you can't find that, then maybe use a different type of spicy pepper like a jalapeno. Even though that's not traditional, it will still add the spiciness to your stew. Now it's time to put it all together. So get a big soup pot and add olive oil and start sauteing the onions. Then you add the turnips, the carrots, the red bell pepper, the green peas, all the vegetables you cut earlier. Then you can add the chopped chicken, the beef, and then the strained chicken stock and beef stock you strained earlier. So mix everything together and let cook so all the flavors mix together. You leave about 2 inches from the top of the soup pot so you can have more space to add additional ingredients. I like to add about 1 tablespoon of rocoto paste and 1 tablespoon of ají amarillo paste, but I think the spice is something that is very personal and you might want to adjust to your own taste if you don't like it too spicy or if you like the soup to be screaming hot. Then I add 1 tablespoon of oregano, half a tablespoon of white pepper, and salt. Also with salt, you might need to adjust to your taste and check it often, but mix everything together first so all the flavors kind of marinate. Let cook in low heat. In the meantime, I cook potatoes. If you have tunta, boil that as well with the potatoes. And now my favorite part is that I add some beer and wine to the soup. When I first saw this, I was impressed. I was like, oh my God, this is my favorite soup. It has both beer and wine. Let it cook so both the beer and wine kind of add more rich flavor to the stew. Then you can add a little bit of choclo, a little bit of potato. If you have tunta, add that to the plate, and then pour some soup on top with pieces of chicken, beef, and all the vegetables. Finally, garnish with some fresh parsley and dig in and enjoy. This is an amazing soup, and we make it every year for Christmas. Feliz Navidad, buen provecho, and I hope you like my recipe. Have a great day.